We've had so many good weapons introduced recently into Destiny 2, and it's really hard to pick which one is best. Well, today I'm going to attempt to do just that and run down my top 10 weapons from the Dawning 2021 and Bungie's 30th anniversary pack, plus how to get them and the gold rolls to chase if they are legendary. Well, if you're new around here or find this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. Well, without further delay, let's dive into the list, and first of all, kicking it off, I'm going to go with the other half. So this one is a legendary Void Power Sword. It's got an adaptive frame where you can launch a heavy uppercut attack, and heavy attacks are stronger with full energy. So this is part of the Halo-inspired weapon set you get from the Dares of Eternity, with the sword being modelled on the Halo Energy Sword. However, it does seem to have been split in half with the half-truths, and this one being the other half. So for PvE, Relentless Strikes and Whirlwind Blade is a good combination. So Relentless Strikes will grant you sword ammo after 3 light attacks, and Whirlwind Blade increases the sword damage for a short duration. Whereas for PvP, Eager Edge and Vorpal Weapon would be a decent roll. So Eager Edge is where you gain increased sword lunge distance immediately after switching to the weapon, and makes it very much like the Halo Energy Sword. And Vorpal Weapon is great for taking out Guardians in their super. Well, to get this one, it's a random drop from the Dares of Eternity activity, or the loot chests in ZEPHYR's treasure hoard. But do be aware, this is a very, very, very rare drop. Just ask Paul Tassi himself. What I would do is save up a bunch of keys, go to ZEPHYR's treasure hoard, open up a load of chests, and hopefully, if you keep your fingers crossed, the other half will drop for you. Well, next up we've got another sword, so this one is Hero of Ages. This one is a legendary power sword with a vortex frame, meaning you can launch a heavy spin attack, and heavy attacks are stronger with full energy. So this one is really similar to Falling Guillotine, and for PvE, Duelist Trance Chain Reaction would be a decent roll. So Duelist Trance is where sword final blows create an increased charge rate, efficiency and defense until the weapon is stowed, and then finally Chain Reaction is where each final blow with the weapon creates elemental damage explosions. For PvP, Relentless Strikes and Assassin's Blade would be really good. So Relentless Strikes is where 3 light attacks grant sword ammo, and Assassin's Blade is where sword kills boost movement speed and damage, which is really good for PvP. Well, to get this one, it's a random drop from the second encounter in the Grasp of Avarice dungeon, and that is just after you blow up the fallen ship with the servitors. Well, next up we've got a Dawning weapon, and this is the Returning Sword, although this time it is a Stasis Sword, and this one is ZEPHYR. So this one is the new weapon for the Dawning 2021, and ZEPHYR is a legendary power sword with an adaptive frame, and you can launch a heavy uppercut attack, and heavy attacks are stronger with full energy. So for PvE, Relentless Strikes and Cold Steel would be good. So Cold Steel is a new perk where powered sword hits slow enemies, and then if you're looking for something for PvP, Thresh and Assassin's Blade would be a decent roll, so Thresh gets you a small amount of super energy with a kill, and Assassin's Blade is where kills boost movement speed and damage, so that one is really good for PvP. Well, to get the ZEPHYR, all you have to do is complete the Pigeon Provides quest from Evil Levante during the Dawning in 2021. Well, to get this one, you have to complete the Pigeon Provides quest from Evil Levante during the Dawning 2021. So next up, we're going back to the 30th anniversary pack, and we've got the MATADOR 64. So the MATADOR 64 is a legendary energy shotgun, deals arc damage with a precision frame, meaning the weapon's recoil pattern is much more predictably vertical. And this one comes back from Destiny 1, where it absolutely dominated in PvP, and it's really good to see it back. For PvE, Perpetual Motion, Golden Tricorn would be really good. So Perpetual Motion and Golden Tricorn, they're both actually new perks, but Perpetual Motion gains bonus stability, handling, reload speed while the wielder is in motion. Then Golden Tricorn is where final blows of the weapon grant bonus damage, and while that buff is active, grenade or melee kills from the same damage type greatly increase the damage and the duration. For PvP, Threat Detector and Killing Wind would be a decent roll. So Threat Detector improves the reload speed, stability and handling when enemies are close, and then Killing Wind is where final blows increase mobility, weapon range and handling for a short duration. Well, to get this one, it's a random drop from the first Ogre encounter in the Grasp of Avarice, but do be aware you do need to own the 30th anniversary pack to get into the Grasp of Avarice dungeon. Well, next up we have another dungeon reward and another D1 weapon coming back to us, and this one is the 1000-yard stare. So this one is a legendary energy sniper rifle dealing void damage with an adaptive frame, meaning it has a well-rounded grip, it's reliable and it's sturdy. So for PvP, Quick Draw and Snapshot Sights would be a decent roll. So Quick Draw gets that gun in your hand really fast, and snapshot sights means less time to aim down sights, so given that combination of quick draw and snapshot sights, this one is going to be super popular in PvP. For PvE, no distractions and golden tricorn would be really good. So no distractions is where flinch is reduced when aiming for a short time, and the new perk here is golden tricorn, where final blows of the weapon grant bonus damage, and while the buff is active, grenade and melee kills of the same damage type greatly increase its damage and the duration. Well, to get this sniper, it's a random drop from the final boss encounter in the Grasp of Avarice dungeon. Well, next up, going back to the Dawning, so we've got Glacioclasm. This one is a legendary energy fusion rifle that delivers void damage. It's a high impact frame fusion, meaning it's slow firing and has high damage. And the weapon is more accurate when stationary and aiming down sights. So good rolls to look out for include Subsistence and Reservoir Burst. I think that is the god roll this season. Then also you've got Slide Shot and High Impact Reserves. That is also really good too. You can get this one from reward packages during the Dawning 2021. Well, next up we've got the EYASLUNA. So this one is a legendary kinetic hand cannon with an adaptive frame. It's got a well-rounded grip, it's reliable and it's sturdy. So this one is an absolute classic, returning from Destiny 1, much like the MATADOR 64 and the 1000-yard stare. Although I think this one is the pick of the bunch, and for PvE, Outlaw and Kill Clip is a classic combination, but also given this is a stasis weapon, Headstone is pretty good too, especially with the improvements to stasis crystals this season. So Outlaw is where precision kills greatly decrease the reload time, and Kill Clip gives you increased damage after a kill. And also Headstone spawns a stasis crystal at the dead body of an opponent when you get precision final blows. For PvP, Perpetual Motion and Moving Target would be a good roll. So Perpetual Motion is that new perk added to the 30th anniversary pack. You get bonus stability, handling and reload speed while the wielder is in motion. And then Moving Target, on the other hand, gives you increased movement speed and target acquisition when moving while aiming down sights. So to get this one, it's a random drop from the final boss encounter in the Grasp of Avarice dungeon, and that one of course is found on the Cosmodrome. Well, next up we've got another return of a classic, and this is the BXR-55 Battler. So this one is a legendary energy pulse rifle dealing solar damage, and it comes with a custom frame called the Legacy PR-55 frame. And that means it's customised with dramatically increased accuracy, stability and targeting whilst hip firing. So this one is based on the classic battle rifle from Halo, and if you're going to get one weapon from the Dares of Eternity this season, I would definitely get a good roll of the BXR-55, because this one is absolutely incredible. So for PvE, Outlaw and Kill Clip would be a decent roll. So Outlaw is where precision kills decrease reload time, and finally got Kill Clip means reloading after a kill increases the damage output. But for PvP, Snapshot Sights and Rangefinder would be really good. So Snapshot Sights gets the weapon in your hand really fast, and Rangefinder gives you that hefty boost to the range. Well, to get this one is a random drop from the Dares of Eternity activity. Well, next up we got the penultimate weapon, so this one is GJALLARHORN, the return of a classic weapon. So this one is an exotic power rocket launcher that fires solar damage and comes with some pretty special perks. So we got Wolfpack rounds, so rounds fired split into tracking cluster missiles upon detonation, and then you got Pack Hunter, so gain increased handling and reload speed when standing near allies. And firing that weapon also grants Wolfpack rounds to nearby allies wielding non-exotic rocket launchers. So that is a new one, and that is absolutely fantastic. And this one gets even more powerful when you got the Catalyst, so I definitely recommend getting that ASAP. Well, to get this one, you have to complete a quest and outfly the wolves. You can pick that one up from Shoreham, although you do have to own the 30th anniversary pack to be able to get hold of that. Well, finally then, we've got my number one weapon from the Dawning 2021 and also the 30th anniversary pack, and it's another exotic weapon, and this one is Forerunner. So this one is modelled on the Halo Magnum, and it's finally made its debut into Destiny 2, albeit in an unofficial capacity. So this is a hard-hitting, high-caliber sidearm, nods back to Bungie's Halo days and the Master Chief, and it is the perfect celebration of Halo and Bungie's 30th anniversary. So the Forerunner is an exotic kinetic sidearm. It's got some really exciting perks, so full stop, oversized sidearm with extended range and heavy caliber rounds, and fires full auto with an increased rate of fire, and deals increased precision damage to unshielded targets. So basically, this one can be used like a scout rifle. Then you got Pace Yourself, so tapping the trigger gives the weapon less recoil and improves the accuracy. So you can hold down the trigger because it is full auto, but I would recommend tapping the trigger because you do get that improved accuracy. And to get that one, you have to complete the quest from ZEPHYR, and it's called Magnum Opus. Well, let me know down in the comments what you think of this list, and let me know if you think something else should be on here and what I've missed. Well, that is it for this guide for the 10 best weapons from the Dawning 2021 and also Bungie's 30th anniversary pack. And as always, thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. If you want to join the community, check out the Discord link in the description, or you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Well, thanks again. I'll see you soon.